Be'ez Hashem Yisboch, we begin Perek Shisha, the 6th chapter in the Rambam's Hilchos, Yesodei, the Torah, the Lord's of the foundation of the Torah, and the Sefer Mad, the book of knowledge, which we continue the theme of the previous Perek regarding Kiddush Hashem and Chil Hashem. In a related vein, in this Perek we discussed regarding the prohibition of destroying holy things. As Rambam begins halacha off regarding the holy names of Hashem. So, Kol Abid Shem, whoever destroys a name, Min Hashem es HaKadoshim HaTorah, from the holy and pure name, Shenikra Behem HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that God is called by, Loik Min HaTorah, gets biblical lashes. Because it says regarding idolatry, a pasuk in Devarim, V'ibad Temesh Shemam and Makam, who you should destroy their name of idolatry from that place. And it says, Lo Yisasni Ken L'Shem Akechem, don't do like this to Hashem your God, which tells us that it's prohibited to do the same with Hashem. Halacha Beis. Now, B'Shiv Hashem Hashem, there are 7 names that we call Hashem. Hashem Anichtav Yud K Vav K, the name that's written with a Yud, then a Hey, then a Vav, and then a Hey. Bo Hashem HaMefarish, that's the explicit name of God. Oy Hanichtav Adnos, or it's written Aleph Dal Nun Yud, because we read it differently than it's said, so we pronounce it as Aleph Dal Nun Yud, or it could be written like that. And you have V'Kel, Elika, Velikim, Ve'eke, Veshakai, with Tzvakais, which we're saying it a little bit differently because we don't want to say one of God's names. Whoever erases even one letter from one of these 7 names, Loika gets lashes. Now, halacha gimel b'kol nitful Hashem milfanam, whatever is secondary to the name from before, what's called a prefix. Mutal machki, that you're allowed to erase. For example, lamed milah Hashem, uvez mi belikim, where that's a prefix, it's something before the name of God. Okay, it's been similarly in a Kedusha Hashem that does not have like the sanctity of God's name. But whatever is secondary to the name from after it, what's called a suffix, going the chaf saifit shall elikecha of your God, or v'chem shall elikechem of your God. Okay, so similarly, ein nemchakis cannot be erased. V'rehin kashar oiser shel has the same halacha like one of the other letters of God's name. Because the name of God, since it flows into the suffix, the name of God sanctifies it. Now, although, like we said, it sanctifies it and it's forbidden to erase it, whoever does erase these letters that are secondary, the suffix in a does not get lashes. But we do give him the lashes of rebellion, that of the rabbinic lashes. Kasav Aleph Lamed Me Elikim. If someone wrote just the Aleph Lamed from the word Elikim, or the Yud and the Hey Me, what we call Shem Havaya, from the name of God, in Nimchak, it cannot be erased. I don't have to say the Yud and the Hey Shushim of Natam, which is its own name, but even that of Aleph Lamed, Nishazeh Hashem, because this name, Mikzah Shem HaMefayrishu, is part of the holy name, meaning the Yud K is part of the Vav K. So that's its own name, and it's part of Hashem HaMefayrish. But so too Aleph Lamed of Elikim, although you didn't write out the whole Elikim, but Aleph Lamed is his own name of God, and so too is Yud K. But if you write only the Shin and Dal and you didn't write the Yud, or the Tzadi Vez Mitzvakas and you didn't write the other Aleph Vav Saf, that could be erased because it's nothing. You didn't write the whole, it's not a God's name with just those letters. Halacha Hey. Shar HaKinuyim. Now the other description, that we praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu with, for example, Chanun, that he's compassionate, Beracham, merciful, God, the great one, Agib, the mighty one, Banayir, the awesome one, and Neman, the faithful one, Kana, the vengeful one, B'chazik, and the strong one. Okay, or similar types of appellations. Harim Kashar Dibra Kodesh is like other holy words, and you're allowed to erase. It does not have this isser of erasing God's name. Halacha Vav. Kli Shal Yishem Kasablam. Now, if there's a vessel that had God's name written on it, you have to cut out the place of where the name is, and you have to bury it, you have to hide it. Now, even if it was not even written, it was just carved out in a metal vessel, or in a glass vessel, and you melt down the vessel, you get lashes because you're erasing God's name. Rather, you have to cut out the place of where the name is and to conceal it. So if someone has God's name written on his flesh, he's not allowed to bathe, he's not allowed to smear himself, he's not allowed to stand in a filthy place because he has God's name, it's not allowed to be in a filthy place. Now in this damli tefillah shemitza, let's say it happens that he has to go to the mikvah because let's say he was a zav and now he has to purify himself. So karchel of gemi v'tayvel, so he wraps a reed around it and he immerses himself. If he doesn't find a reed, so he surrounds himself with his garment, but it shouldn't do it too tight, that it should not be in interposition between the mikvah waters and his flesh. Because they didn't say that you should wrap something around the name of Hashem on his skin. It's only because you now stand in a state of undress in front of God's name. So you have to have it wrapped over that it's covered, that it doesn't see his nakedness. Because regarding the erasing of God's name, that maybe he's going to go in and it's going to erase it, it's not why you wrap it, because that we're not concerned for, because that's just a grum, and that's a causation, he's not doing it directly. Halacha Zayin, regarding holy objects. Haseiser, if someone demolishes, even one stone, in the destructive way, not for construction, but in the destructive way from the altar, from the sanctuary, or from any one of the other of the courtyard of the Beis Hamikdash, like it gets lashes. Kashnimba says regarding idolatry in the pasuk in Devarim and the Tatzmes Mizbechesim, you should demolish their altars. For custom, it says, don't do like this to Hashem your God. Therefore, that is that prohibition. And if someone burns the wood of the holy structures in a destructive way, like he gets lashes, because Shenem, it says in the pasuk Basharim says from the Eish that their trees of idolatry should burn in fire. It says, don't do like this to Hashem your God. So the same thing applies to burning the holy wood. Halacha Ches continues regarding the holy writings. All the holy writings, Upirushim and their commentary, Beirim and their explanations, Asl Sarfam, you're not allowed to burn it. So you can't take a holy writing, the words of the Torah, not allowed to burn it. Oil abdin biyad, or to destroy it with one's hands. Now, if someone does destroy it with his hands, to give him rabbinic lashes. But when do we say this? It's the holy writings that was written by a Jew in sanctity. Epicurus, by a heretic of a Yisrael, that's a Jew, they wrote a Torah scroll. You burn it with the names of God inside of it. Because that heretic doesn't believe in the sanctity of God's name. Like Sabbalishmai didn't write it for his holy name. He just entertains in his thoughts. It's like all other words. But that it was his thoughts. That didn't sanctify the name of God. There's actually a commandment to burn it. Because now we don't leave over any name, any remnants for the heretics, but not for their actions. But regarding an idolater, idol worshiper, that he, a non-Jew, that he wrote God's name, and I say that we do bury. So too regarding holy writings that got worn out, was written by an idol worshiper, Yuganezu, that should be buried away. Now, all the names of God that are written by Avram are Kodesh, are holy. Meaning, even this that it's written in Bereshis, that it says, Adonai, if I found favor, meaning not like that opinion that's burned in the Gemara, that it's actually that he was asking the Malach that was the greatest of them that he was talking to. No, rather, Avram was turned to Hashem and the request that he should wait for him until he goes and gathers in the guests. So that Adonus, that Aleph Dal Nun Yud, is also holy. It's referring to Hashem. So Hariyah Kodesh, that's considered holy. So to call Hashem as Amur's B'Loit, all the names that are written by Loit are choil, are mundane, chutz mizeh, except for the one that says V'yumal Alim, that Loit said to the Malachim that came to him, Al no Adonai, which Loit was turning to Hashem, that he has the ability for the power to kill or to keep alive. So Loit was saying to the Malachim, let it not be like your words that you said that I should be saved by the mountain. And then he turns to Hashem and he says, Adnus, referring to Hashem, my master, behold, let my servant find favor by you, which it says over the Hilchos is nafshi, to keep myself alive. So that actually, that Aleph Dal Nun Yod is referring to Hashem. Kol Hashem is Amurus Begivas Binyamin. All the names that are written over there by the hill of Binyamin are Kodesh, which that's in Sefer Shoftim. They're all referring to Hashem. They're holy. Kol Hashem is Amur B'Micha. Now all the names that are written by Micha, on the other hand, which is in the Sefer Shoftim, that's Choil, they're all mundane. Kol Hashem is Amurim B'Novis, all the names that are written by Novais, which are Malachim Aleph, are Kodesh, are holy. Kol Shleim Ha'amim B'Shir Hashirim, all the times it says Shlema in Shir Hashirim are actually Kodesh, because it actually refers to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where the piece is his. It's just a metaphor. And therefore, Varei Kishar HaKinuyim, it's going to be like all of their descriptions of God. Chutz Mizeh, except for the one pasuk in Shir Hashirim in Perek Ches, Aleph L'cha, the thousands to you, Shleima, which refers to actually Shleima Melech. Kol Machaya Amar Daniel, all the times it says the king, in the words of Daniel himself, is Chayil, is mundane. Chutz Mizeh, except the one where it says Ant Malka, he was talking to Nebuchadnezzar, you're the king, but he was saying Melech Malchaya, the king of all kings, which is actually referring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And therefore, but that's going to be like all the other descriptions of Hashem, and therefore it has a kedusha, and certain words like Adnos or could be referring to a regular master or to Hashem. So you have to know, as the Rambam is pointing out, which ones are Kodesh and which ones are Chayil.